Hi everyone, welcome back to Dimitra's Dishes. So today I'm going to be teaching you how to make one of my favorite cookies. It is one of the most popular, probably in the top 3, the most popular cookies that we've made at our cafe for the past 10 years while we've had it. We don't have it anymore, by the way, but I'm going to teach you how to make Rugelach cookies. They are delicious, they are flaky, they are perfect with a cup of tea or coffee, and the ingredients are pretty basic. We're going to go over them and then we're going to get started. So for the dough, we have some cream cheese and some butter that's softened and at room temperature and some all-purpose flour. The filling is so flavorful and yummy. There's some granulated white sugar, ground cinnamon, light brown sugar, and some raisins, ground walnuts, and a little bit of apricot jam. That's it. So we're going to begin by making the pastry, which these cookies are going to be made in. And I use this recipe. I've showed you how to make this before. It is my go-to pie crust. Ever since we've had the restaurant, we made so many apple pies. And this is the pie crust that I use because you just can't beat it. You don't have to worry about being finicky and all of that. It's just so easy. You combine room temperature butter. I know when you're making pie crust, you're used to everything being ice cold, but that's what I love about this recipe. It's very rich in flavor and so easy to make. So I'm going to combine in my tabletop mixer, you could also do this in the food processor, my softened cream cheese and my butter, and I'm going to beat it over medium speed until it's really nice and fluffy and creamy. Then I'm just going to add the flour to it. So once the butter and the cream cheese are combined, I'm just going to add all of my flour in here. This is 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Don't worry about it. All the measurements and the exact ingredients are in the description box below and on the website. I'm going to turn this on low so that way I don't end up wearing it. And I'm just going to let it beat until everything is combined and a dough is formed. So this is what it's supposed to look like when it's ready. Just like that. You don't want to overbeat it because then it just won't be tender enough. I'm going to form it into a disc and then I'm going to wrap it and keep it in my refrigerator for 30 minutes so it can rest. So to make the filling, all we're going to do is combine all of our filling ingredients except for the apricot jam into a bowl, and we're just going to mix everything all up together. Now these are my favorite things that go in here. If there's something that you don't like, you can leave it out. You can substitute the raisins for cherries if you wanted to, or cranberries. This is the classic filling and it's my favorite. Give it a try and then switch it up and let me know what you did in the comment section down below. Just mix everything up really nice and good. And that's it. The filling is ready to go. So my dough has rested and chilled in the refrigerator for 30 minutes, but you can make this up to 2 weeks ahead of time and store it in the freezer. You could even cut it before you store it into 4 equal pieces, so that way they can be ready to go and you'll have 4 little round discs. Keep them tightly wrapped in plastic wrap in the freezer and you'll have pie dough or arugula dough ready to go in no time. I actually make many batches of this and keep it on hand in the freezer because I make lots of pies this time of year. This is great not just for these cookies, but it's great for apple pie crusts. It's really nice for little mini hand pies. And I have a really good savory recipe with this dough. It's a mushroom hand pie if you want me to teach you how to make that. And I also have a little chocolate hand pie that's really yummy. If you want to learn how to make it, post in the comment section down below. But I'm going to roll these out into little circles about 9 to 10 inches in diameter. Let me get my rolling pin. So before I put it down and start rolling it, I'm going to try and get it in the shape of a circle as close as possible. Now I'm just going to dust my counter with just a little bit of flour. You don't want to put too much because it's going to make the dough tough and not as flaky as it should be. Now we're just going to keep rolling until we get it to about 9 to 10 inches round. So I know that this part of the rolling pin is 10 inches, so I don't have to take out anything to measure with. That's good. Doesn't have to be a perfect circle. Then we're going to take 1 to 2 tablespoons. My perfect amount, my favorite amount of jam is 2 tablespoons. Now I use apricot jam, but some people like to use raspberry. If you have apple jam right now, that's definitely in season. If you're going apple picking, they might sell some apple jam. You can use that as well. But we've made it with apricot jam at the bakery, so that's what I'm sharing with you. And then a half a cup of this flavorful aromatic filling. You're going to press it in, and you're going to leave a little bit room for the border, so that way they don't the filling doesn't all come out. Then with a pizza cutter or a knife, you're going to cut eight triangles, 8 wedges. And then we're going to take one at a time, and we're just going to roll it up to a crescent shape, and we're going to turn the edges in, and we're going to put it on our baking sheet. And I'll show you again. If it's getting stuck, you can take a little spatula and help it lift out, and whatever falls out you can put right back in. Try to roll it a little tight if you can, pressing down to kind of hold in that filling. You want to have as much of the filling in there as you can, because that's where all of the flavor is. I'm going to keep rolling these. I have my oven preheating to 350 degrees, and I'll show you what they look like all as soon as they're ready. I'm placing them on a baking sheet that's lined with parchment paper. So I made half of the batch because honestly, if I make the whole batch, I have nowhere to send it to because we don't have the restaurant anymore. And we will sit here and eat the whole thing by tomorrow morning. So I'm going to save the other half. I'm going to save the filling. I'm going to put it in a little plastic container and save it in the pantry. And the dough will stay in the freezer perfectly well. And in a few days when I have guests over, I'm going to pull it out and make some rugelach. You can also form these and store them in the freezer. Once they freeze, you can put them in Ziploc bags and then thaw them out completely in the refrigerator and go ahead and bake them. Look at how beautiful they look. Now, in the home oven, I don't know how everyone's oven is, but my home oven doesn't brown too fast. So the restaurant oven used to be really, really strong. We had a big convection oven, and it used to brown them pretty quickly. So we never really brushed them with egg wash or anything like that. I'm going to show you what they look like once they come out. The oven is set to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. They're going to bake anywhere between 20 to 24 minutes. I like them a little bit underbaked so that way they're still ooey and gooey and soft in the center. If you like them a little darker, go ahead and bake them a little longer. But the longer you bake them, they do dry out, so keep that in mind. So I'll show you what they look like when they come out. If they're too pale for your liking, the next time you can go ahead and brush some heavy cream on there or some egg wash, which is basically 1 egg yolk or 2 egg yolks with a little bit of water or milk. I'm going to pop these in there and show you what they look like as soon as they come out. So it took 22 minutes exactly for my rugelach to cook, and this is how I like them. I like them to be just a tiny bit still soft. These have to cool a little bit longer so that way they can firm up, but this is what they should look like. If you want it to be more golden, you can definitely brush them with some egg wash on top or with some heavy cream. And if you like them a little bit crisper or a little on the drier side, then cook them a little longer and they'll become more golden. Let me show you what they look like on the inside. Can you see that? It almost looks like a little mini cinnamon roll. Your house is going to smell fabulous. These taste delicious. Make yourself a cup of coffee or tea. Enjoy these. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Comment, and also let me know what you'd like to learn how to make next. I'm also planning on sharing my this recipe, which is my Greek almond cookie recipe. Look out for it. It's coming up soon. Thank you guys for spending time with me today, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, everyone.